Don't put your hands in your pants. It could lead to felony charges. The story from Pennsylvania. A man holds a Spicy Time store at gunpoint. What he leaves with? It's not cash. The phrase meant to be an insult to the president is encouragement to one little boy visiting the Lone Star State. Does love stand the test of time? The answer coming from a war veteran. I'm Julie Wilson. We're gonna break down each of those stories. This is your unnecessary news for Wednesday, June 15th. You guys, if you've been watching this segment for a little while, for as frequent as I put it up, you know that I've really not been sure what to call it. But yesterday, as I was editing one of these segments, I realized this news is completely unnecessary. So, unnecessary news. I'm saying it. I'm sticking with it. Maybe I start a podcast called that. I don't know. These are stories that will leave you scratching your head and a heart full. It's good news and stupid news. And we start with the stupid. Stupid news. If you put your hands in pants that don't belong to you, you might be looking at felony charges. Let me explain. We're in Pennsylvania. The details of the story come from WPXI. Did you like the news lady voice there? WPXI, I'm Julie Wilson. A guy tries to pass off a fake $100 bill as a real $100 bill at the Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. Shame, shame, shame. The guy was trying to buy some drinks before he caught his flight, and he would have gotten away with it too had it not been for that meddling cashier. Apparently, when he got to the cashier, he tried to pay with that $100 bill, but then the cashier noticed a saying that's not typically on the Benjamins, for motion picture use only. Anyways, that cashier told the popo at the airport. The man, as you can guess, was arrested. Apparently, the guy told police that the pants that he was wearing weren't his, so when he put his hand in his pocket and realized there was a $100 bill, he just had to spend it. The oldest line in the book. Like, can you imagine how this went? The man says, "These aren't my pants, officer." And then the officer looks at the man and says, "Then why is your name sewn into the waistband?" And then the bad guy's like, "Mom, you got me caught." Anyways, come up with better excuses, okay, guy? Stupid news. Stupid news. Our next stupid news story takes us to the Golden State. Welcome to Los Angeles. Okay, picture this. You walk into a Spicy Time store. Oh, you're a freak. You're freaky. Anyways, you walk into a Spicy Time store. Your intentions are not for pleasure, but to rob the place. You want that money, honey. That's what a guy tried to do in Los Angeles, KTLA reports. Apparently, the suspect in this case walks into the Spicy Time store, pulls out a pew-pew, and demands money from the cashier. The cashier freezes in fear. And in that frozen moment, the guy sees a self-pleasuring item. Instead of the cash, he grabs that fun time toy, says to the cashier, "I'm gonna take this instead," and he leaves. The toy, by the way, apparently only sells for $64 on Amazon, so this isn't a huge monetary gain for this guy. I just want to say to this robber man, you don't have to be ashamed of pleasure. You don't have to rob and steal to feel good. Hey, but I get it. Last time I went into one of those stores, I got to the cash register and rattled off some BS excuse like, "Oh, this is for a bachelorette party." It wasn't. It was for a Bob. A battery-operated boyfriend. Self-care, y'all. I guess to this guy and to me, don't have shame, my guy. I mean, arguably though, your shame is a felony at worst, and at worst, mine is just a bad and apparent lie. Police, by the way, they're still trying to find this guy. But you can't police pleasure, guys. The pleasure police, that sounds like a name of a strip joint. Stupid news. I bet you feel better about yourself after hearing those stupid news stories, and now to the good. Did you guys like that? That's my news anchor voice. Hi, I'm Julie Wilson. You're watching Unnecessary News. To the good news now. Y'all know how from NASCAR we got that saying, "Let's go Brandon," and it's supposed to mean F Joe Biden. It's supposed to be a little insult. Well, one kid in Minnesota took what was supposed to be an insult as encouragement. Brandon Brundage, he's just 9 years old, and he has autism, so sometimes things are a little extra scary for him. I found this story on Yahoo. Yahoo! You guys remember those commercials? Brandon is from Minnesota. He and his family were visiting Texas. He keeps saying, "Let's go Brandon," on flagpoles, on bumper stickers. So on his trip, when he felt fear, he would see those flags and those bumper stickers and think that the world was encouraging him. He's quoted saying to his mom, "Mama, they love me here. They got signs. They're cheering me on." He was encouraged because of these signs and because of these flags and because of these bumper stickers to take the training wheels off of his bike. He even dove into the pool. Now, Brandon even has a book of his own. It's called Brandon spots his sign and it celebrates his courage. The family sent the book to the president, and President Joe Biden even wrote Brandon back. The president said that he loved the book, and he even mentioned how as a child he had a stutter. And President Joe Biden, in his letter, reminded Brandon that he's defined by his character and his courage. But the good news does not stop here. Now the family is headed back to Texas with thousands of copies of Brandon Spots His Sign to give to the summer reading program in Uvalde. Good news. And finally, in our unnecessary news, does love stand the test of time? For one Korean War veteran, the answer is a resounding yes. I got this story from KETV. So Dwayne Mann, he's 91, he's from Iowa. He took to Facebook to find his long-lost love from Japan. Their story makes local news, and just 9 days later, the reporter on this story makes contact with Dwayne's love, Peggy Yamaguchi, her son. The two, they set up a reunion. Okay, I want to give you some backstory on this because it's incredible. It kind of reminds me of The Notebook a little bit. So for the last 70 years, Dwayne has been living with the narrative that Peggy thinks he abandoned her, but that's not what happened at all. He says he never gave up hope that he would find her and be able to explain exactly what happened. He prayed that they would meet face to face, and of course his prayers get answered. So quick history, the two meet back in 1954 when Dwayne is stationed in Japan. Peggy was pregnant when Dwayne, who was just 22 at the time, found out that they were sending him back to the United States. That was his new orders. He promises Peggy that he will send for her the moment he gets home. But then when Dwayne gets home, he finds out his dad had fallen on hard times and had used Dwayne's life savings. Dwayne and Peggy, they'd been writing each other letters, but eventually the letters stopped coming. Turns out Dwayne's mom had issue with Peggy being from Japan, and she had been burning the letters. Eventually Dwayne gets a final letter from Peggy. It says that she had lost the baby and she had married somebody else. But hold on, as it turns out, she makes it to the United States. After all, she marries a guy in the Navy and she lives in Mississippi. And Dwayne, for all these years, has been keeping a picture of Peggy in his billfold. He's been transferring it over from wallet to wallet to wallet. And Peggy didn't forget Dwayne either. In fact, Dwayne is the middle name of Peggy's son. Now, is there a chance for a rekindled romance? Probably not. Peggy's husband, as of right now, is still alive. Still though, Dwayne got the opportunity to confess that he did not abandon Peggy. Good news. And that is your unnecessary news for this Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. I appreciate you joining me. If you would be so kind, can you follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook? Don't follow me on Twitter. It's a cesspool there and I never use it. When people follow me on Twitter, I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? I try to put out a new issue of unnecessary news every single day, but some days I'm gonna fail, okay? I'm only human. You can't have that type of expectation for me. Sometimes I have to sleep and eat. I'm very hungry right now. Can you please like, comment, and subscribe? That would be great. Until next time, thank you.